Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, and peace, peace, peace to all my other friends and followers. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you, wherever you at throughout the world. Good day. It's your big brother Abdullah. We know we coming to you live in the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. We here, we on the continent, we in the motherland, all of that. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing wonderful today. Alhamdulillah. It's a beautiful day in the Gambia. The sun is out. You can see I'm under the umbrella today, making sure that you guys can see me clear. I hope everything is clear, inshallah. So, yes, you've seen the title. What does Gambia have to offer? Everybody want to know. Why should I leave America? Why should I leave the West? Why should I leave all the money? Why should I leave, my potential 401k or my medical insurance or, my apartment like this or this or this? Everybody got these questions. Why do I want to go to Africa? Why should we go to Africa? What's in Africa for us? What's in Gambia for us? That's what we're here to do today. We're here today to break some of that stuff down for you. So let's go. And we are back with you. What's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Peace. How's everything? I hope everybody is well. Before we really get going, please do me a favor. Before we start, do your big brother a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Don't just watch the videos and then you don't subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously so that we can keep bringing you these videos. It helps out in the algorithms of where they place our videos so other people can see the videos. So please hit that subscribe button. Bust that like button for us, please. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Give us some questions, some feedback, so we can interact with each other. We family. We all family. Let's interact with each other. Let's talk how family talk. And make sure you share this. Share this with your friends and family. Don't just keep it all for yourself. Don't be stingy. Share it. Let everybody know we're here helping. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so without further ado, let's go. So I titled 6 parts that I wanted to present today. And this is a big, longer conversation. But today I wanted to just cover 6 different parts of what Gambia has to offer us in the diaspora, coming from America, coming from the West, coming to Gambia. So the 6 I titled, number 1 is Islam. And, for me, I'm a Muslim. My channel is as a Muslim and a black person, a black male coming from America, but first and foremost, a Muslim. So that's how my channel was geared. So number 1, is being Muslim. Number 2 is having peace and a peace of mind. Number 3 is culture, family, in our village. Culture, family, in our village. Number 4 is economic opportunity. Number 5 is low cost of living. Number 6 is education. So those are the 6 areas I'm going to cover today. And so stay forward. Stay tuned. I'm sorry, stay forward. Stay tuned so that you can hear the part that best suits you. Number 1 I'm going to start off with is my own personal, for me, is Islam, being Muslim. From as being Muslim, I've been Muslim since I was 17 years old. Now I'm 41. Going on 42. I almost forgot how old I am. That's how old I'm getting. So yeah, for me, it's being Muslim and making migration or making hijrah. That's the name of my channel. My journey, my hijrah. So this is my hijrah to a Muslim land. And so that's my number 1 for me, is being Muslim. In that, being here, alhamdulillah, I have the freedom to be Muslim. There's nothing hindering me from being Muslim, be it overtly or covertly. There's nothing hindering me. Or at least not as much, definitely covertly, because in the world you always have some stuff going on. but it's not an intentional covertness going on to hinder my Islam. It will be only my own nafs, my own desires that will do that. But in America, where you have, oftentimes you have, it can go off from all out oppression. You know, they had situations in America where they even had trends where they were pulling Muslim girls' hijabs off of their head or knocking them out, to economic discrimination in the workplace. You can't grow your beard at certain jobs. You can't pray at certain jobs. Um, family hindrances. Conflict with family because you've left the faith that you were raised with, to revert to the faith that Allah has ordained for you. And so this can cause tremendous rift within your own families, oftentimes. Um, so you have many different scenarios and situations where, alhamdulillah, being in a Muslim country, you have the freedom to be Muslim. Everybody, Gambia is 96% Muslim country. 96%. So you go from being a minority to the majority of the people, alhamdulillah. Gambia is a country with 96% Muslim population. So, being in a Muslim environment where it helps out with even suppressing your own desires, because Islam is everywhere around you. So even if you stray off a little bit, your environment is a helpmate in correcting that affair for you. There's masajid everywhere. There's masjids everywhere, or mosque, or however you say the word. They're everywhere. You have the signs of Allah, the signs of Islam are everywhere, from the masjids to the way that people dress to the culture of the people is even from Islam. And so that's a tremendous thing. Also, it's a better raising for our children. It's a better environment for our children, and having children and raising them and growing up in Muslim communities and environments where they also too they don't have to go through the stigma and the oppression and the racism that they will often encounter in America and in the West. In Gambia, all their friends would be Muslims. It's not like you have a component of the Gambia where it's your friends that have a non-Muslim moment. All of everything you ever wanted as far as a Muslim family, if you love Allah and Islam sincerely, you have those components in Gambia. Your kids wake up in the morning in a Muslim household, your house. Then they go to school, to a Muslim school. All their friends are Muslims. Then they come home, back to your Muslim household. The friends they play with, their after school program, what they call Dara. Yeah, they call it Dara, or it comes from the root word Dorus. And so in the Dara is like their YMCA or their Boys and Girls Club. And they don't have the YMCA and the Boys Club. Everybody goes to Dara. All the kids, they go to Dara. So that's where they have their playtime, their after school time. That's where they meet their friends at. That's their social networking environment. And so that's the beauty of being in a Muslim country, that this is the environment your children will have. And just that experience of living in a Muslim environment versus reading about it. We grow up and we read the books of the Salaf and we read the books of the Sahaba and we fantasize about, what it could be like. We know that kind of lifestyle doesn't exist anymore because those are the best of the people. But we also, we have that fantasy of what does it look like to be in a Muslim country, though, to be with people that are at least close to that, have some of those traits of those people of those times. And so Gambia, alhamdulillah, will give you that experience also. That's number one. Number two is, and I can stretch these out, but I'm trying to keep the video as short as possible so that you guys can enjoy it and watch the whole thing and get all the importance and not lose it. Number two is what I describe as peace and peace of mind. Peace and peace of mind. How valuable is that? It's priceless. Everybody knows peace and peace of mind is priceless. And so, when you come to the Gambia, for one is you just have the opportunity and the chance to mentally wind down from all the chaos and chaotic stuff and drama and all the stuff that's going on in America. You don't have to constantly deal with, the constant onslaught of violence, murders, drugs, racism, the onslaught, the constant onslaught that in America, whether you know it or not, that we become dull to. Even it's our norm. We become used to it. We have no more emotions towards it. In the Gambia, if a person was to die, it would be breaking news throughout the country. One person was to die, everybody from one side of the country to the other would be talking about it. One little kid or one little girl got kidnapped or something like that, everybody would be talking about it. In America, this happens hundreds of times a day. Rapings, murders, drugs, kidnappings, and they're so normal that you have to even beg the news people to put your situation front row. And so we've dumbed down, we've become dull to this kind of tragedy. And it's not good to be dull to this tragedy because these are tragedies. Those are our family. Those are people. And people deserve to be respected and honored in those extremities thoroughly. And we deserve and respect and have to be honored and honor ourselves to be in an environment where that's not happening every day because that's not good for us mentally. It's not good for our children. It's not good for us, our generations. And so being in the Gambia, you get to wind down. It's a beautiful country. The people are beautiful. The beaches and the scenic parts are so beautiful for you. So you get to wind down. It helps your mental health. It gives you that peace and peace of mind. You don't have to turn on the news channel every day and hear, this person got murdered, this person got killed, this person got locked up for drugs and selling drugs and this, that, and the third. You just get to mellow out and don't have to have the constant onslaught of these things every day and all day. Also, and it's the absence of extreme racism. As an African American growing up in America, and these are subjects people don't really want to touch on often. And they want us to shy away from it. Don't talk about this. No. We have to talk about it in a positive way, in a healing way. In America, we grew up with racism. We know racism is real, whether it's blatant everyday racism, economic racism, educational racism, social racism, political racism, whatever kind of racism you're talking about, all of it is alive and healthy in America. And, when Martin Luther King said have a dream, the reason you have to have a dream, and he was referencing a good dream, is because your reality is a nightmare. So you have to dream good. In the Gambia, you don't have to deal with that. Everybody is your skin complexion. Everybody is your color. And even if they weren't, the Gambians, they just don't care about that. That's not what they stuck on. And they would never stop you from achieving and growing what you want to grow based on the color of your skin anyway. Whether you are white, Spanish, black, they don't care what you are. They love people. They love humanity. And, that's the situation here. Number 3 is culture, family, and village or tribe. A lot of people, they don't like the word tribe. So, it's another good word we have is village. And part of that is reconnecting ourselves to our lost culture. Is reconnecting ourselves to our lost culture. Because oftentimes in America, we know that we come from something. We know that we came from somewhere, but we just don't know what we came from or where we came from. And that even affects how our community and communities are. It affects how our houses are, how our parenting is, how our relationships, marital relationships, friendships, all types of relationships are based on the loss of that information, that umbilical cord. And so coming back to Africa, coming to Gambia is in West Africa. Most of us, we come from West Africa. It gives us a chance to reconnect with that lost culture and learn that lost culture. I see many of my friends come here. They even struggle with the culture shock of re-embracing that lost culture. And I always tell them, had it not been for slavery, you would have never known that European white culture anyway. So though it may be a little different for you, enjoy it, embrace it, own it, because it's yours. It's what you came from. Don't too many times people, powers that be, will pit us against our African brothers and sisters. Um, don't let that happen. We have the old school jokes, you African booty scratcher, or this. You know, let's stop all of that, because they don't do that to their own people. You don't hear Russian Americans talking about Russians, or uh, British Americans talking about the Brits, or white people talking about anybody from Europe, or Spanish people. You don't hear this kind of talk from people to their own people. But with us, they successfully managed to separate us from our people. So we have to stop that. We have to put a stop to that and not let the powers that be push that kind of agenda. These are our people. Everybody who, they do this new DNA test stuff now, you see that where you're coming from. You can see where you're coming from. You can see you come from Africa. It's your blood, it's your family, it's your cousins, it's your people. Somebody just came here and took you and brought you there. So don't let them achieve the point of separation. Um, Also, we want to reflect on the trauma, uh, the absence of culture in America, and how it got taken. That's just what I was reflecting on. We know how it got. We know how the culture got taken. They took it through slavery. They took it through those boats. They took it through cutting the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord from us to our land, from us to our families, from us to our mothers, to our fathers, our grandmothers, grandfathers, cousins, aunts, and uncles. And they brung us to the Americas. And for 400 years, they made us work for free. And in that time, they took our last names. They took our what they call surnames. They took our last name. They took our culture, our traditions. They took our languages, and they took our religion. And they took our religion. And definitely when it comes to those who teach and spread Islam, that one of the most prevalent religions of the people who came, because they came from West Africa, and we know that Islam has always dominated West Africa. And in that time, Islam was flourishing at its strongest. Uh, One of its strongest times in West Africa is when they took the slaves, and so a large portion of those slaves, they were Muslim, and so yeah, they took our religion and everything. Uh, the Gambians, one of the things about coming here is the Gambians themselves. The Gambians are known amongst the people here as the Ansar. They even have built businesses where they name the businesses even Ansar. I mean, what is Ansar? Those of us who study Islam and know a little bit about our religion, is the helpers. The Gambians are known as helpers. So when you come here, and we are known as the Muhajirun, the travelers, the one coming to them. And they are known as the helpers, the Ansar. They love to help people. These people will take you in. You will benefit and get your mothers here, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers, your villages are here. We hope everybody can bring all of their families here. But even if you didn't, and like me, you had to come by yourself, the Gambia is a family. They know you are their family. They know you're their lost family, and they love family. And they love to embrace the muhajir, the traveler, the one coming. They love to help. So that's one of the big things. Um, like I said, yeah, just finding that village that you've always been looking for. Um, that culture of village, that culture of everybody helping each other out and working together, supporting each other, uplifting each other. In the Gambia, you will definitely find that. Number 4 is economic opportunities. And this is where a lot of people, they assume, oh no, Africa's poor. Africa doesn't have this. Africa doesn't have this. You need to, before you keep talking like that and let people talk to you like that, you need to come for yourself. Excuse me. Bismillah. You need to come for yourself and see for yourself, because that's not the case. Uh, one of the big difference in when you look at ownership I'll give you an example of ownership in the West versus ownership in Africa. There's a known thing amongst the Africans, and they even sometimes chuckle or laugh at Westerners who make fun of them. Because in the West, we live off a credit system. None of us really own anything. Our houses are mortgaged, our cars are leased, or you're paying payments on your car, whatever the case may be. Everything is on a credit system. Credit cards galore. In the Gambia, they don't have a credit system. They don't have a mortgage system. So in the Gambia, when you see a person that have a big house, they own it. It's their house. They don't have a mortgage. If you see a person in a BMW or a Mercedes Benz, that's their car. They own it outright because it's a pay as you go. It's a cash system. So though we make fun of them, when you look at Gambia and you see everybody has houses and land, and I don't care if they had it, they might not have as much physical capital cash as you, but they don't need it either. You need that physical capital cash and to work your behind off because you have bills out the wazoo. As for them, these houses, they own these houses. There is no mortgage. They own these houses. There's no car notes. You buy that car, it's all cash. It's theirs. You see a car, I don't care how nice the car is out here. If you see it, it's the person who owns it, period. And that's a big difference. The Gambia, like Africa, the Gambia is an up-and-coming market, which makes it beautiful for an entrepreneur coming here, trying to find your niche, trying to find your space where you fit in at. The Gambia is that place. It's an up-and-coming market. It's beautiful. It's a white canvas. You can design what you want to design healthy without too much competition and being flooded markets and all that kind of stuff. It's open for you. It's an open field for you. The playing field is so open. It's amazing. It's right for the taking. It almost reminds me of how Detroit was and still is. Detroit, years ago I moved to Detroit before the comeback, before they built downtown, before all of that looked nice like that. I lived there when Detroit was blown out, and I knew then, I said, this is going to be big for people to come here and benefit and buy houses and, and grow in ways that you can't grow in other parts of America because it's already too expensive. It's too high. Gambia is one of those places where you can come to buy a big mansion for low. For $80,000, you can buy a 6-7 bedroom mansion on the water for $100,000. For $50,000, you could buy a house for $40,000. You could even buy a house cash out. You could build a house, buy the land. You could buy and make your own house from scratch. Buy the land and build a house for for $40,000, $50,000. It's amazing. You can't do this kind of stuff in America. Africa has the youngest population in the world and the fastest growing. I think the average age in Africa is like 25. Young population throughout the continent. Gambia, the average age in the Gambia is only 17 years old. Young population, healthy, vibrant, so full of life, energy. Young population that works well for business. You want young people. You want those fresh brains, fresh minds to help you out, grow. The absence of economic racism. In the Gambia, because everybody is black, you don't have those boundaries and those brick walls and those mountains in front of you of economic racism. Somebody stopping you from being great. Somebody, or you're not grandfathered in, or this only a white person's industry, or like that. No, you don't have that in Gambia. Gambia is your color all the way through, black from the president down to the poorest person. So yeah, your skin color doesn't matter. Pretty much what I'm mentioning to you. In the Gambia, you might even have more opportunities than you do in the West. Because a lot of us, just because we live in the West, does not mean we benefit from the West. Because we live in America doesn't necessarily mean that we're benefiting from America. Some of us in America don't have 10 cents on us right now while I'm doing this video. They don't have a quarter. Your people's is begging for a loose cigarette at the corner store right now. Poor as ever, trying to figure it out. So you might have more opportunity in Africa than you do even in the place that you clinging to so hard. And for those of us who want to be entrepreneurs, Gambia is where you want to be. Gambia is an entrepreneurial haven. It's where you want to be. I definitely would recommend that. I don't recommend people to come here and be workers here because that kind of working economy is not as beneficial here. But being an entrepreneur is explosive here. Number 5, low cost of living. The Gambia is amazing when it comes to cost of living. If you bring some money with you here from America, you could set yourself up nice, or from the West, you could set yourself up nice. You can rent a 2 or 3 bedroom here for as low as 200 a month or even lower. You can rent a 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, living room, dining room, kitchen, gated, uh, gated area, gated community for $120, $125 a month, $200 a month. You can rent a 5 bedroom here, small mansion, 5 bedrooms with a guest house for $500 a month here. It's amazing. Shopping in the local markets, the food in the local markets versus shopping in the Western grocery stores. I would recommend to shop in the local markets. It's a lot cheaper. The Western grocery stores is tremendously expensive because why? They had to buy that food from the West, from America, put it on those shipping containers, ship it to the Gambia, and resell it. So it's even times more expensive than it is in America, shopping like that. But for the local, if you link up with the Gambians, you get close to the Gambians, and you eat like they eat from the local markets, and they have everything: fruits, vegetables, meats. Every meat you eat, you'll save a ton of money. I promise you. Uh, you can feed a family in the Gambia, a family of you can feed a family in the Gambia of 2 to 4 people at $12 a day. $12 a day, you could feed 2 to 4 people, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's $360 a month. You can feed a family of 5 to 10 people on $24 a day. That's $720 a month. That's 5 to 10 people. It's because the way they eat. When you learn their system of eating and shopping in the local markets, it's a lot less expensive than it is for us in the West. Your electricity bill will run you somewhere around $50 a month. Your water bill should run you somewhere around $4 a month. So like $50 a month for your electricity and $4 a month for your water. So yeah, it's extremely low. The education, number 6 is education. Like I said, education-wise, and I'm speaking as a Muslim in the Islamic education for us coming here, is the Islamic schools are everywhere throughout this country. They're everywhere. And for those who are from the people of the Sunnah, and they love the Sunnah, they hold to the Sunnah, then, oh, look at that. Perfect recording. You get to hear the adhan being called right as I'm recording this video. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. 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 Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. So like I was saying, alhamdulillah, is so beautiful. That's the benefit of being in a Muslim country, is that, even the adhan, you get to hear the adhan, no problem. Nobody's going to go to city council because they're calling the adhan and say it's too loud and this, that, and the third. So alhamdulillah, it's the beauty of living in a Muslim country. The constant reminder, the call to prayer, alhamdulillah, it's beautiful. So like I was saying, education, Islamic schools are everywhere. Alhamdulillah, when it comes to school for your children and school for yourself, Islamic schools are everywhere. It's a Muslim country. Islamic schools everywhere. The Arabic language is taught throughout the whole country. West Africans, they're one of the holders, one of the preservers of the Arabic language. The Arabic language is everywhere, alhamdulillah. It's taught everywhere. For those who say you can only go to the lands of the Arab to learn the Arabic language, that's wrong. That's fanatically wrong. That's somebody speaking with no knowledge. You know, there's many Africans who speak Lughatu Arabiya better than the Arabs themselves. Wallah. It's amazing. As I said to you, for those who love the Sunnah and hold to the Sunnah, the body the religious body that governs the Gambia, it's called the Islamic Supreme Council. The Gambian Islamic Supreme Council, or Supreme Islamic Council, like that. That body is a body of scholars of the Sunnah, not scholars of deviation, but scholars of the Sunnah. They are the ones who control the education of all the schools, the Islamic schools in the Gambia. And so it's not one curriculum versus another, but they all have to teach from the same curriculum, and that curriculum is designed from a body like you have in Mamlakatu Saudiya, like you have in Saudi, a body of scholars that are from the Sunnah, alhamdulillah. Those, like I said, once again, and those who ascribe to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, those who hold to the Sunnah, who are Sunni, and are of the Salafi Minhaj, then know that the people of the Sunnah are widespread, and don't let nobody tell you different. The people of the Sunnah of Salafiyah are widespread throughout this country, with universities. I think it's like 4 different universities from Ahl Sunnah in this country, accredited universities in this country, school for children, scholars. It's too much. It's too long. Alhamdulillah, it's beautiful. Private school for your children. In America, I was paying like $5,000 a year for one child. I'm paying for my 2 other children. We paid I think like $2,500 a year for those 2. In the Gambia, private school, Islamic private school for your children will run you anywhere between $60 to $100 for the whole year. Yes, you heard that correctly. Private school for your children will run you anywhere between $60 to $100 for the whole entire year. Walillahi alhamd. It's you can't even compare that. And also you have programs here for adult education, Islamic adult education. Like I said, universities and regular school classes for adults to benefit from. One of those programs that are happening, I developed it. So if you're looking to come here as an adult, not only to benefit your children, but even as an adult, and you want to get into that classroom environment and benefit for your Islam, learn the Arabic language in a school, just contact me. I could set that up. I'll put you right in the school where you need to be. We have a nice program with the schools out here, with the scholars out here. So yeah, just contact me and we'll get all that set up. So yes, that's my 6 topics I wanted to touch on today. I definitely would love any kind of feedback, all the questions. Put them in the comments, so that we can have a dialogue and so that people can benefit from this. So yes, put them in the questions, and we can have that dialogue, and we can communicate and conversate and help people make that transition, make it easier for people to make that transition. I thank you guys so much for being with me again today. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share this with your friends and family. I need that. Your big brother, he needs that. We need that to get our channel out there even more. Thank you so much. This is your big brother Abdullah. We here. It's my journey. It's my hijrah. But you are all invited to come with me on this journey. It's your big brother Abdullah. We here. It's the smiling coast of the Gambia. smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia, and we signing out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace, peace, peace.